Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today, we are going to be talking about Doublelift. For whatever reason, this guy just will not go away. And I know there's definitely some people that are tired about the flipping and flopping, the going back and forth. It's just so weird, like even thinking back to 2017 TSM when he, needs to take a break, and then he comes back in summer, and then, he's talking about, spring split doesn't matter, and he's like sandbagging, and you can't really even get him to try his hardest during spring split or during regular seasons, and then he wants to try and ramp up later on, and like, it just seems like he always had, kind of fleeting desire or urge to play. He wanted to accomplish everything, but didn't want to always try his hardest. He always wanted to go back and forth. But even with that all being said, he was still an amazing player. I mean, there was years and years and years of, if you had Doublelift, you were going to win a championship. One of the best LCS players of all time, probably the best North American player of all time, and obviously very, very popular player, streamer, everything. But, never was able to get it done on the international stage. Currently is not in the LCS, but always is sitting there right on the outside, waiting for an opportunity to come back in. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. So, drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, Doublelift on his recent show, I think called Trash Talk, Trash Talk Episode 2 with Sneaky and Medios on the Doublelift YouTube channel. He says, the title is, do you want to come back and compete? And, Sneaky talks about it for a little while. Medios talks about it for a little while. I think Medios is kind of the furthest away from LCS level of these three. I still think, Sneaky wasn't that bad on the year he was kind of pushed out of the LCS, and I still think it'd be interesting if he came back. But obviously, Doublelift, in his last split, won the LCS championship. Now, he was maybe kind of dragged to that championship by Bjergsen, but still, he went out on top, and, hasn't been back to the LCS since. So let's see what he has to say about, whether he has the urge to return or not, because we know he was previously saying, hey guys, I'm a streamer now, I'm just streaming, I'm playing solo queue, I'm doing variety, I'm making all this money, I got my girlfriend, I got all this stuff, I'm fine, I'm done, that chapter's moved on. But then behind the scenes, he tried to return this season. He wanted to play in Spring Split. He was looking at TSM, he was looking at EG, maybe he was looking at Cloud9, some other teams, who knows. But then he got rejected, and then, he's going back to streaming and variety and his girlfriend and all this stuff. So does he want to come back now? What's going on?
What about for you, Doublelift? What's your
when are you rejoining TSM and saving them?
Oh my god, dude. Hovering Shen and Yi every game now. I don't...
You see he's back?
I have the urge. I'll very frequently get the urge to compete because it's just something that is like so romanticized in our minds, and it was really fulfilling, and it's like something that I love. So of course I'm gonna have the urge to compete.
So there he is saying that, hey, he does have the urge still all the time to come back and compete, which, like I said, I don't think it shocks a lot of people. This guy has always been in and out and back and forth. When he's in, he's not quite sure if he wants to be all the way in. He maybe wants to be out. He likes winning. He loves competing. He wants to be the best, but like going through all the steps, going through all the motion, all the practice, regular seasons, all this stuff, it seems like he's never really loved all of that. Maybe earlier in his career he did, but especially as he got older and had already done some of that other stuff, he just wanted to get to Worlds. He wanted to get to the good part. He wanted to get to the fun part. But I do think spring split regular season and spring playoffs and summer regular season, all these stepping stones, those are opportunities not only for you to be getting better individually and personally and ramping up as the course of the year goes, because Doublelift was not always in his greatest form 24/7, that's just simply not true. But it's also an opportunity for you to help all your teammates get better, for you guys to develop a style, for you guys maybe to develop multiple styles. If you think you're way too good, to be playing in spring split regular season or whatever, get so good at a bunch of different styles and new champions and all this stuff. Like, there's always some way to get better, especially if you're Doublelift and you've never even made it out of groups at Worlds. For you to be sandbagging, and saying that this doesn't matter, these games don't matter, yada, 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 that's always rubbed me a little bit the wrong way, and I know it's rubbed some teams and some of his teammates and players and coaches and people like that the wrong way as well. But yeah, when he's in, he wants to be out. When he's out, he wants to be in. So again, like I said, none of this is too shocking.
As far as do I still think I can, it's exactly what you said. Like I don't think. I think Bjergsen had probably the best take possible, where when he came back, he told his team, "Yo, guys, I've been out of it for a year. I'm not going to be that good, but I promise you that I can get really good. I just need some time." Like, I think.
And it's funny because then Bjergsen, goes on this solo boot camp to Korea, grinds a ton of games, grinds solo queue, even when he was still a coach, he was already starting to grind solo queue all offseason, goes to Korea, comes back, and now he's like already pretty damn good again. Now he's by no means at his best, but him and Team Liquid are looking pretty good. He has like one of the highest KDAs in the whole league. He's an MVP candidate. He has not looked bad. And yeah, we do know he still has the potential to ramp up and keep getting better, not only individually, but also with his team as the rest of the season goes on. That's pretty scary.
I think that is definitely the right mindset, because if anybody, like, if I said right now, oh yeah, I could come back and stomp LCS 80 carries easy, I'm fucking delusional. Like, that's not true, because it can't possibly be true. You need a lot of time to go back and develop your skills. So I think like the idea of like, can you still compete? Yeah, but like there's an asterisk there.
So I thought that was actually really, really cool to hear from Doublelift. I think that's some of the most humble and self-aware, it's not usually what you hear from Doublelift, but it is really, really cool. And it does make me wonder. Again, I'm not like a Doublelift hater. I've been largely a Doublelift fan. 2016 TSM is probably my favorite League of Legends team of all time. To me, it's right up there with like 2019 G2 and stuff like that. That team was so fun to watch, and Doublelift was a huge part of that. He was a monster. He was super, super good. I loved watching him in that team. But what I do love is him saying, yes, I know I would need to work. I would need time to get good. I would not be good right away. I would not come in and stomp everyone. But if I worked hard, if I practiced, and they gave me time, I would do it eventually. That I think is really, really cool to hear. And if we had a hungry, focused Doublelift with a chip on his shoulder, knowing that he has something to prove, knowing that he needs to come in and work hard, I think he would be able to get pretty good pretty damn fast. And I think if he was hungry and really wanted to prove himself, that could be very, very scary, and ultimately that could be very, very good. And I think between spring and summer, I think he's going to try and get on a team again. Now, again, the question is, as always, what team is that going to be? It's not going to be Team Liquid. It's not going to be Cloud9. Team Liquid or Cloud9, barring anything crazy happening. FlyQuest? Would Doublelift and Aphromoo pairing up again on a FlyQuest team that's been surprisingly good this season? Would that be interesting? Could he take FlyQuest to Worlds? Would that be fun to watch? I don't know. And I do also think a big thing in this whole conversation is that, like, I know Doublelift has talked about, and Sneaky has said this as well, you're like, oh, we don't want to come back and just play on some trash team. The money has to be right, the roster has to be right, the team has to be right, all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. But, like, if you really have the urge to compete, if you really believe in yourself, and you really want to play, and you want to help the LCS, and you want to help teams, you want to compete, you want to add to your legacy, come back on any team that'll give you a chance, prove how good you are, prove how valuable you are, and you'll work your way up to one of the better teams and better lineups and all that stuff. At this point, in Doublelift and Sneaky and all those guys' career, Team Liquid or Cloud9, they're not just going to wake up one day and be like, oh yeah, we're going to get Doublelift this offseason. Oh yeah, we're going to get Sneaky this offseason. Now they haven't been playing for 2, 3, 4 years. Those guys are rich. They're going to be rich. They can stream during the season. They're going to get a big contract offer from their team, whatever. If they are really hungry to play, take a deal on one of these teams. Prove how good you can be. You can stand out on a not great team. You can also make a not great team competitive and great, and that can add to your legacy in some ways. Imagine if Doublelift came back on FlyQuest. I think he'd be an upgrade over Johnson. I don't think Johnson's been bad. I think he's been fine, but man, Doublelift and Aphromoo playing together again would be fun, exciting. And maybe this FlyQuest team could go to Worlds. That would be crazy. Also, 100 Thieves, I don't think they're going to be kicking FBI anytime soon. But, like, man, Doublelift and Jensen joining 100 Thieves, that would be pretty interesting. That would probably be a pretty damn good team. I don't know if that would be better than Abadage and FBI. But it might be. It could be. Evil Genie says, I don't think they're going to be replacing Danny. He's been so good. He's so young. Golden Guardians, yes, obviously I think Doublelift would be an upgrade over Lost. But would Doublelift join Golden Guardians? I don't know. I think Dignitas would be interesting as well. And then I think once you start getting into Immortals, CLG, and TSM, obviously TSM, he has the drama. I don't think he's joining CLG or Immortals. So I see the teams that are kind of interesting as like FlyQuest, 100 Thieves, maybe Golden Guardians. But yeah, I mean, there's just... it seems like a lot of the opportunities that Doublelift and Sneaky and these guys have been talking about is like, I want to play in a great roster, I want to make a ton of money. Like those opportunities aren't going to be popping up. So something's going to have to give. Either these good teams are going to have to settle for players who haven't played in a couple of years, which is never going to happen, or one of these players is going to have to take a chance, bet on themselves, and prove that they are hungry, ready to compete once again, and ready to grind and get good and show us that they are still good on a middle to lower tier team. I think it's both unlikely. I don't know. Doublelift's talking about wanting to come back. He's saying he has the urge. He's saying he has the itch. We'll see. That's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Let me drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. You think we're going to see Doublelift back in the summer? If so, what team you think he's going to play on? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hope we catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.